doing this update in the car today. I have lost over 60 pounds on Tirzepatide, which is the compounded version of Mounjaro. And I started this, it was December 30th when I gave myself my first injection. And so as of today, it is the 21st of November, and I weighed myself yesterday. I was 118.7, I want to say. I have seen the 117s in various points. And I seem to be going between 117 and 119 lately. I wanted to do this update and follow up because I told you I would after I talked with my provider about maintenance and what that's going to look like for me, because maintenance is, different for everyone, and it also can change as, it can change as life goes on, depending on stress levels and hormones and, all kinds of things. So it's not like when you have a plan, that is where it is going to stick for the remainder. And as I talk, I'll put some before and afters. I don't have a lot. My after is probably about what I'm weighing now. I want to say it was probably 119, and that's basically what I am now. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that because I know those are fun and they're motivating and all of that. Before I get into the conversation I had with my provider, I want to let you know my overall experience with Tirzepatide. And, as for side effects, how it's been for me, has it been worth it? And my plan, eventually I'm going to get there and talk about my maintenance plan. All right, so I have been one of the lucky ones where I have not had really much in the way of side effects my entire journey here. I do say luck, but it's also, who's to say, but I'm not going to play with, the dice on that. But I also did my research and learned about the side effects most people can expect. And, hold on, I got to lower the heat here. The common side effects. I learned also about the medication and how it works in the body and what it does. I think it's really an important part of being responsible on this medication is learning about it. And it boggles my mind the amount of people that just go on it and everything then hits them and they really don't know how to navigate the journey. And it is also sad, the doctors, providers, nurse practitioners, whatever, that really also don't educate their patients on what to expect. And so it's a combination of those things. But, as someone who is possibly thinking about doing this and going on this journey themselves with a GLP-1, I think that it is your responsibility to do your due diligence, because you may get a provider that doesn't really give you much information. That way you'll also know what questions to ask. And that's, going to help you out in the long run as well. So I learned about how it works in my body. That really helped to understand why the certain side effects happen, which would be nausea, digestion issues, constipation is part of that, fatigue. Those really are a lot of the main culprits. So I'm not going to go into how GLP-1s work. I'll leave that to you to learn about that. But it is important, and I have great providers. I have a local doctor that I work with that, I have just for my general wellness, and I have a provider that I work with through Mochi Health that I absolutely love. And they have both really said the same things when it comes to don't want you to lose weight too quickly on this. It's very easy to do that. So that was really important. The other thing is to, be careful with the sort of nutrients that you decide to eat when you are hungry, because you want to get enough protein and all of that. Both providers have also said it's important to incorporate some weight-bearing, exercising choices, which I haven't been super good on. I have been doing a little, but I could always do better with that. So, yes, GLP-1s absolutely work. Is it the easy way out? I don't think there is an easy way to lose weight. There is a commitment. There is the commitment to make a lifestyle change. It would be very easy just to, let the medication cut your appetite, slow down your digestion, and still choose bad foods to fuel yourself. But I do want to warn you, if you haven't tried this, that going down that road is going to really push a lot of the side effects when it comes to nausea. So foods are going to sit there for a lot longer. It's going to take longer for it to go through that process in your body. So imagine having highly processed, fatty, greasy foods just sitting there. You are going to get nauseous. So that has been a huge motivation for me not to do that. I have not had constipation. That is probably the most common side effect. A lot of people have struggled so much with that. It lands them in the emergency room. So it's nothing to play with. And when I first started this medication, I primed my system before I even took an injection. I primed once, I learned about these side effects. I really didn't want to experience nausea, vomiting, and constipation. So before I took my injection, I really started eating much better. I 100% cut out any bad foods. I was very, very careful for the first 9-10 months doing that. Sugary foods, I just am very leery about them. Plus that would really be my Achilles heel. I love especially donuts and various baked goods. That's my weakness. So I have not had a donut. I haven't had any really super sweet things. I do have sugar in my diet now, but it is definitely very low in my chosen pyramid, my food pyramid. I started taking magnesium every day. I asked my local doctor, because she definitely is supportive of me on this, and she said it is completely safe to take. Right now I cannot, I'll put it up here because I can't remember. I haven't taken it in a very long time, and she said that one is safe to take every day. So I would probably take that about 3 times a week, just even though I wasn't experiencing constipation, along with the magnesium, to really just keep things going. And so I did that for quite a long time, and then slowly I didn't do that anymore, and I just continued to take my magnesium. So around probably halfway through where I am now, maybe like 5-6 months in, I saw a post on Instagram about someone who tried Groons, and they take GLP-1s, and they said that they have not had any digestive issues, any constipation or anything. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try this. So I did, and I have taken it ever since. I don't even take magnesium anymore, which magnesium is good in general, so I probably should still incorporate that in some way in my sort of supplement, list, but I haven't been. So yeah, I really have to say that I don't think it's not healthy. There's probiotics in there as well. It supports the gut, as well as has super greens in there, which is good because I don't tend to have that much in my diet. And I have not stopped taking them. I think it helps a lot. It's one of those rare occasions where somebody said truth on something that they probably, are working with that company, and I am not, but I have to say, I think it helps a lot. So I would recommend taking that if you're on a GLP-1, and start taking it maybe like a week before you begin. And it might be a good idea to, again, incorporate a little magnesium. But as for water drinking, that is really important as well. But something that GLP-1s do as well as cut your appetite, because, you're feeling full all the time, is it also cuts the desire to want to drink water, which is good for me because I don't tend to drink water that much anyway. So that is a very big challenge. However, it hasn't really affected me in the way of constipation. It sometimes will affect me, though, being dehydrated with... Why are we only going this... Hold on, I gotta get into a different lane here. Speed limit's 70, and I'm behind someone going only 60 something. So I'm gonna get over here. I don't know why you needed to know that. But I can feel fatigue, some weakness, and shaking, and a little dizziness. So it's nothing to joke around with. You can get dehydrated pretty easily on a GLP-1. So I do have electrolytes. It's like if I'm feeling that way, I will go ahead and start putting that and forcing myself to drink that. So there is that side note as well for people like me that struggle with drinking water. Just know those are the side effects of feeling and getting dehydrated. But I was able to completely go off my blood pressure medication. So that is super, talk about a non-scale victory. That's a big one. So currently, yeah, I'm just on Zoloft. I do have to take Zyrtec every day, because it helps my vertigo. I live with chronic vertigo, and Zyrtec is the only thing that has ever happened in my life that has helped that, other than occasional visits to a chiropractor, of which I have not done in quite a few years. Now I'm going to have a weird shadow on my face, but all right. I'm going to go ahead and talk about my conversation I had with my mochi provider. So she was thrilled to hear, because I hadn't spoken to her in person via, your Zoom meeting, or whatever you want to call it. It's not through Zoom, but the face-to-face, over the internet, the computer. And yes, she does. She is the one who fills my prescription. She sees how much weight I'm losing and makes sure that things are on track. Anyway, so basically our plan is that we are just she's not gonna adjust the medication dose that I'm on right now, which technically is about 8.5 milligrams. However, which would be, mine is mixed with niacinamide. And so that included with the Tirzepatide makes it to where I would need 50 units. So that's not 50 units of straight Tirzepatide, just so you understand that. But it does equal about 8.5 milligrams of Tirzepatide. But I have only been taking 45 units One time back when I did go up to the full 50 units, and that was the only time that I had a little bit of background nausea, and I didn't like that. So I cut it back to 45. I was losing weight. I had a good slow pace, which, by the way, I think I got off track. My weight loss started out at about 2.5 pounds a week, but then it crept back and has stuck to about 1.5 pounds a week. There are a few weeks in there because, of course, that cuts out the highs and the lows, and there were a few weeks where I didn't lose anything, or just a couple tenths, maybe a week or two where I did gain some. So that is a really, 1.5 is definitely an average, and my doctor was very happy to see that. It's tempting to want to lose it quickly, but again, now you're going to talk about a lot of muscle mass, bone mass, and hair loss, and you are then going to encourage a lot of sagging in the face, because we have fat in our face as well. We have muscle in our face as well, and so that leads to what has been labeled Ozempic face. I am 60. Now, when you start getting older and you're on a medication like this, you really have to pay attention to how fast you're losing weight and how much protein you're eating. I, try my hardest to get that protein in. I have a lot of sagging on my body. My skin doesn't jump and go back, because my elastin and collagen isn't what it was in my youth. You're going to get that anyway. You're going to get it times a lot when you are over 50 and you're going to go on this. So, I embrace it. I look a little, interesting, completely naked, but not in a good way, but I am totally happy with it. I am so happy with my progress. I feel so good, truly. And so, that is my trade-off, but I wouldn't trade it for going back to being very obese, So there was a week when I ran out of medication that I didn't take anything. And then the week prior to that, I had to go even lower than the 45 because I didn't have enough in my vial. So I think it was around 30. So when I got my medication again and she prescribed me the same 50 units, I actually only took 30 units. And the next week I went up to 35. This last week I went up to 40. So I'm gonna go another week. Today is Friday. So I don't take my injections until Sunday. And I actually think I forgot, and I took it Monday. So I might wait another day and stick to doing my medication. That has definitely changed over this journey. So I might just stick to doing them Mondays. But I am gonna probably, because I haven't had any medication side effects at all, I might this week at the 40, I might go back up to 45 because I have noticed that some night binging is happening, which to me isn't good because that's where I gain all my weight. But it's a little different now because I do have that medication on board, which means I fill up very quickly. So my night binging looks nothing like it used to, but still it is food chatter in my head. I don't like it. And so when I had that week of not taking it, and then now I'm slowly increasing, I have to say that it has increased as well. So that's why I'm kind of anxious to get back on that 45, just to do away with that, as long as I don't continue to lose weight. So my doctor and I, she said 115 to 120 is per your BMI, because they go by that, is where you want to stay. And she said, I'm keeping it, she knows I'm taking 45 units. So she said, let's just continue doing that and we'll see what happens. And she checks in every month when it's time to refill. She says, if I see that you're going under 115, I am going to tweak your medication. I am going to have you take more until we see that if you're not sustaining and you're losing weight again back to the 115, then we're going to play with the dosage and make sure. Because see, what happens is it looks like insurance isn't an issue for me because, again, I go through Mochi, pay out of pocket. But what will happen is even Mochi will see that I am at this BMI they don't like, and they will cut me off. They will not allow the medication to be refilled, even above and beyond, the physician. And really, I say that probably not correctly, because the physicians are the ones that are probably, are aware that this is a rule, basically. And so they work alongside Mochi with this, and they just, for their own safety, their licensures, know that this is just the way it is. So she did let me know that we don't want you to go under 115 for your own health. And also she did say you probably won't be able to get your medication refilled until probably your weight goes up. And we don't want to play that game because it causes delays in your medication, yada, yada. So that is the plan. And again, I am not up to my full 45 units where I seem to be really happy. But in the meantime, as I get there, my weight has fluctuated between 117 and 119 for quite some time. So I do feel like that 45 units is kind of my happy place. But we'll see, because 40 to 45 units, I think, will be my happy place. Because I can lose weight on the 45. It may be slow, but it is a slow tick down. And I'm at that sort of crossroads where I do need to be really careful. I just want to say that, well, if you're looking for negative feedback regarding going on Tirzepatide, you're not going to get it from me. This has been amazing for me. I would suggest sticking to the lowest dose you can while getting into this sort of good place. I think also part of my success with not getting those side effects is trying to stick to the lowest dose I can, because obviously the higher the dose, the more probability of experiencing side effects goes up along with it. So I really do think that 45 units is my crossover point. And I think that 50 units, when I saw that, it started bringing on a little bit of that. So I think that is key, is don't be so anxious to get up to those higher doses thinking I can lose weight faster, quicker. You're going to have times where you will stall, but don't think you need to go up a dose that following week. Kind of hang out there. It's normal to hit those stalls, and that is just, I think, a big factor in what kind of experience you're going to have on your GLP-1. Okay, I'm losing battery, so I'm going to finish this in my recording room.